Hey everyone, today I'm diving into a topic that's become increasingly important lately, which is finding EU alternatives to US big tech. So with growing concerns about data sovereignty, GDPR compliance, and the increasing distrust of how US-based companies handle our data, many website owners are looking for alternatives to Google Analytics and other US-based tracking tools. So I did something quite extensive, which is look at every major EU-based analytics solution and find out which ones actually deliver on their promises. But before I share what I discovered, let's go into why this actually matters. When your analytics provider is based in the US, that means it falls under US jurisdiction, and this means it could potentially be accessed through things like the Cloud Act, regardless of GDPR protections. EU-based providers, on the other hand, operate primarily under European data protection laws, which are generally a lot more stringent. Plus, many EU providers are building their tools with privacy in mind from the ground up, often offering cookieless tracking by default. Right, so let's go over the contenders for EU analytics solutions. So first up is Simple Analytics, which is based in the Netherlands. The second is Matomo, which is based in Germany. Then we have Persh Analytics, which is also based in Germany. We've got a popular one called Plausible, which is based in Estonia. And then Fathom Analytics, which is actually based in Canada, but offers some EU hosting options. And then finally, we have one called Countly, which is based in the UK. So what exactly was I looking for? Well, in my test, I considered a couple of key factors. Number one is genuine privacy protection, not just marketing. I'm specifically focusing on minimal or no personal data collection at all. Secondly is ease of implementation, and then dashboard usability, as well as the quality of the insights. And then of course, compliance with GDPR without needing consent banners, which is the ideal scenario. I had a quick look on performance impact on websites, things like script size, as well as load times. And then I had a look at data ownership, as well as data export options. And now for the exciting part, the findings. So let me walk you through what I discovered about each provider, starting with Matomo. It's open source, it can be self-hosted, which is great for complete data ownership and control. However, it's also the most complex to set up properly for maximum privacy, and unless configured correctly for cookieless tracking and strict data anonymization, you might still need cookie consent banners because it often defaults to using cookies. Plausible offers a clean, minimalist approach. The dashboard is beautiful and straightforward, focusing on essential metrics without overwhelming you with data. They're fully GDPR compliant and achieve this by using a cookieless tracking method, meaning you don't typically need cookie consent banners. The downside is that their pricing scales pretty quickly with increasing traffic. Simple Analytics takes privacy to another level. They literally don't collect any personal data at all, no cookies, no IP addresses, nothing that could identify individual users. Their dashboard is clean and intuitive, and they offer interesting features like automated events tracking for downloads and outbound links, which is super convenient. Persh or Pirsch is another lightweight option with a strong focus on privacy. They use a cookieless tracking approach and have very reasonable pricing, especially for lower traffic sites. Now, Fathom Analytics, I've added this to the list because it's quite popular, but it actually is based in Canada. They do allow an EU isolation option, and they do provide a clean, fast dashboard, as well as some innovative methods to be less likely to be blocked by ad blockers without compromising on privacy principles. Countly offers more than just web analytics. It's actually a complete product analytics platform designed for things like detailed user journey analysis and mobile app analytics too. This makes it a lot more powerful for more complex needs, but also a lot more complex and potentially overkill and expensive for simple website traffic analysis. When it comes to website performance impact, pretty much every single solution is going to be better than Google Analytics by a significant margin, but some are even better than others. Simple Analytics and Plausible consistently had the smallest impact on page load times in my tests, often with tiny script sizes under 3 kilobytes. Now let's talk about actual privacy practices based on how they collect data rather than just marketing claims. I found that Simple Analytics, Plausible, and Persh truly deliver on their privacy promises for web analytics by collecting no personal data or identifiers by default. Matomo can be privacy friendly, but it requires significant and careful configuration to avoid needing consent. Now, cost is obviously a big factor for most of us, especially for smaller projects or businesses. So here's how they stack up generally. The pricing models vary significantly. Some charge based on page views, others on websites or domains. And I would say for small to medium websites, Simple Analytics and Perch tend to be among the most affordable options for their feature sets, while Countly is clearly positioned for more enterprise users with complex needs. And then Plausible's per page view pricing can add up quickly with high traffic. So after all this analysis and testing, here is my verdict. For most small to medium websites looking for the best combination of genuine privacy, ease of use, and value for money in an EU-based analytics solution, Simple Analytics stands out. Their fundamental approach to collecting absolutely no personal data while still providing useful traffic insights is a major plus, making GDPR compliance much simpler. For those who need a highly customizable, fully comprehensive analytics platform or have the technical resources and desire for complete data ownership through self-hosting, Matomo provides the most powerful and flexible alternative to Google Analytics. So to conclude, the good news is that you absolutely don't have to rely on US big tech companies for your website analytics anymore. There are excellent EU-based or privacy-first alternatives that respect your visitors' privacy, comply with regulations, and still give you the essential insights you need to understand your audience and your content's performance. Based on my own testing and priorities, I've made the switch on my own websites to Simple Analytics, but any of these EU providers would be a significant step in the right direction compared to the big US analytics solutions when it comes to privacy and data sovereignty. So what about you? Are you using any of these analytics providers, or are you using another alternative? Let me know your experience in the comments below. I hope you found this comparison helpful, and thanks for watching.